Welcome to Wellness by Nature, the podcast where we uncover health insights to help you live better, one small step at a time. I'm Barbara Sage, and today we're talking about a concept that's incredibly helpful when it comes to managing the blood sugar levels: glycemic load. If you've heard of the glycemic index, glycemic load is a related but often overlooked tool that can give us a more complete picture of how foods affect our blood sugar. So what exactly is glycemic load and why is it useful? While the glycemic index, GI, ranks foods based on how quickly they raise blood sugar levels, glycemic load, GL, takes it a step further. It considers both the speed of carbohydrate absorption and the actual amount of carbs in a typical serving size of the food. This makes glycemic load a more practical measure because it reflects the real impact a food has on our blood sugar after eating a standard portion. Here's a quick example. Watermelon has a high glycemic index, meaning it can raise blood sugar quickly, but because it's mostly water and relatively low in carbs per serving, its glycemic load is actually quite low. This makes it a better choice than the glycemic index alone might suggest. In this way, glycemic load helps us make balanced food choices that are realistic for everyday eating, particularly for managing blood sugar. So how do you calculate or use glycemic load? Foods are categorized as low, medium, or high glycemic load. A GL of 10 or below is considered low, 11, 19 is medium, and 20 or above is high. The goal is to include more low and medium GL foods in your diet, which help prevent large blood sugar spikes and keep energy levels stable. Foods like leafy greens, most fruits, legumes, and whole grains tend to have a lower glycemic load, while processed foods and those high in simple sugars often have a higher load. One simple way to incorporate glycemic load into your diet is to balance higher GL foods with lower ones. For example, if you're having a meal with rice which can have a moderate glycemic load, pairing it with vegetables or a source of protein can help stabilize the overall impact on your blood sugar. So today we learned that glycemic load gives us a clearer picture of how our food choices affect blood sugar by considering both carb quantity and quality. By incorporating more low and medium glycemic load foods and balancing our meals, we can support stable energy and overall health. Thank you for joining me on Wellness by Nature. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might be interested in learning more about managing blood sugar in a practical way. Here's to making informed choices for a healthier, more balanced life.